6 to 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. till noon, Jeff Kuna. I gotta tell you, I literally came in late last night. We packed up the house in Washington, D.C., and so we finally moved the whole family up here. And, you know, I'm driving down, and I don't know, is it just me? I swear, I start approaching towards Bacon Hill, as I call it, and I feel like this gravitational pull, this like suction sound on my wallet. I swear, I'm driving and it's like I'm going, what's going on here? It's like my money's coming out of my pocket. I really want to thank all of you for showing up. This is a phenomenal crowd. Thank you. God bless you. And I want you to know there's one person among us, and I want to thank all of you for coming, but there's one person among us. She is a warrior. She is a fighter. She is a patriot. She is with my wife. By the way, the kids are driving her crazy, but let them go. The kids, one is 6 and one is 3. But there is someone up there on Bacon Hill who is fighting for us every day on welfare reform, on EBT cards, on taxes. And I think she's the only state representative who actually has the guts to come out and be here. And I want to give a big shout out to Shauna O'Connell. Right there in the red coat. God bless you, Shauna. My friends, what you see here, believe it or not, is the tip of the spear. This is the beginning of a tax revolt that you are seeing in this state and in this country. And I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. You want to talk about a perfect example of how disconnected the political class is from ordinary, hardworking Americans like us. At Beacon Hill, as I speak to you right now, the state Senate is in session. And what are they debating? Are they debating cutting our taxes? Are they debating cutting out the waste and fraud in government spending? They're talking about raising taxes $850 million. And they're so afraid of us. They knew we were coming out with a rally today. They are so afraid of us. I kid you not, they've locked the gates. I swear they've locked the gates. They've locked themselves in like little cowards, all huddled up in there. They're afraid the peasants are going to go and literally breach the state legislature wall. I don't know, maybe we should go with pitchfork in hand. The reason why we're here today is because now, within the next couple of days, the state legislature, along with our esteemed governor, Mini-Me Deval Patrick, Mini-Me, thinks he's the next Obama, wants to run for the presidency in 2016. Well, I said, Mini-Me, you don't have many supporters here, Mini-Me. The tax givers aren't too happy, Mini-Me. They are now talking. Now, I want all of you to think about this. This state is almost bankrupt. We are now dipping into the emergency reserve fund. Spending is out of control. Welfare fraud is out of control. Illegal immigrants are now swamping our hospital rooms and our schools and our welfare services, costing us hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And now they want to raise the gas tax 3 cents a gallon. But just to show you what a bunch of cowards they are, They don't even have the guts to vote on it until after they get reelected in 2014. That's when they're going to implement it. And then, here's the kicker. This is to show you how gutless they are, how treacherous they are, like thieves in the night. They're going to index the gas tax to inflation. So when inflation goes up, as it inevitably will, our gas taxes go up. This is a permanent tax increase. It keeps going up year after year after year. And then they want to raise tolls, and they want to raise cigarette taxes, and they want to raise business taxes, and they want to raise corporate taxes, and Mini-Me still has the guts to say he wants to raise our state income tax a full percentage point. Honest to God, I do this every time I meet people, whatever, at a local 99 or at a Dunkin' Donuts. Take it. I swear to you, just here, take it. Let's cut out the middleman. Here, take, you want it all? Take it. Let's not play games. And here is what the mainstream media in this state and across the country don't want to tell you and don't want to tell the taxpayers of this state and this nation. True. You look at the crime lab scandal. 300 million wasted. You look at welfare fraud and abuse. Over 200 million wasted. You look at the parole department scandal where, I kid you not, they're hiring their relatives, brothers, sisters, first cousins, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year on our dole, on our taxpayer dimes. To Beacon Hill, to House Speaker Porky Pig Bob DeLeo, to Therese Murray, to Mini-Me, I have one message for you, and it's loud and clear. No new taxes, period. You've taxed us enough. You have more than enough money for the roads, for the bridges, for basic social services to run this state properly. What you want is you want more money to help your political cronies and your welfare dependents who vote for you. That's right. Well, I'm here to tell you, the taxpayers of this state have had enough. And let me just conclude by saying this, because there are other speakers behind me and I don't want to stay here forever, but let me just tell all of you this. Why did I come to Boston? Why did I leave Washington, which is another cesspool, but let that go? This is one of the greatest cities in America. It is one of the greatest cities in the world. Why? Forget our history, forget our culture, forget our traditions. Forget about the fact that so many of us here come from immigrants who came here yearning to be free. This is the cradle of the American Revolution. The American Revolution started here in Boston, in Massachusetts. And in 1776, our motto was no taxation without representation. And we said to the 13 colonies, to the British government, and to the world, on this soil, on this land, in this civilization, we are free men and women. And we created the greatest republic in the history of the world. It is the envy of the world. And now, these gangsters, these charlatans, these socialists on Beacon Hill and in Washington are destroying our country every day. My friends, it's time for a second political rebellion. And our motto is this, because this is what's now happening. We have taxation with no representation. They tax us, but they don't represent us. Because our language to them and our message to them is this. And I hope Therese Murray is listening and Bob DeLeo and Mini-Me. You see all that money you get? You see your big fat paychecks? You see your gold-plated pension plans? Your gold-plated health care? Your per diem, when we pay you to drive into work every day. You work for us. We don't work for you. And now we're telling you, as loudly and clearly as we can, you have enough of our money. No new taxes. And if you vote this plan through and sign it into law, we, the taxpayers of Massachusetts, are going to vote every single one of you bums out of power. Today is the opening shot of the beginning of a tax rebellion in Massachusetts. And so, my friends, we're going to continue over the next couple months and couple years to take our party back, the Republican Party. We're going to take this state back, and we're going to take our country back. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Jeff Cooner! It's like being at a rock concert. That's unbelievable. Thank you, Jeff. Before I ask my next speaker to come up, I understand somewhere milling around the crowd is one of our favorite elected officials, Bob Hedlund. Is he here? Bob Hedlund, put your hand up, come up to the stage. I understand he's got a report for us on what happened just now at the State House. Bob Hedlund. Thank you. We're on a quick break from Senate deliberations on the $500 million tax increase that you're all here to talk about. Your timing is quite precipitous, is it? We're right around Tax Freedom Day. Is it today? Is that the 18th? I mean, if we factor in printing press money and federal taxes, it's probably December 31st, I know. But your timing is very fortuitous. I would encourage everybody when you're done, we're probably still going to be in session when this ends at 3, or if you want to take a little break. I needed to take a break and get out of that stale air and see what some working people and taxpayers look like, because the only people I'm seeing right now wandering the halls of the State House are people that are asking not to oppose the tax measure that's before us, but to up it. So get up there and have your voice be heard after this. They won't know what to do with you today if this whole throng goes up here today, because we don't see working normal people that often up there. Real quick, as I said, we've had just deliberation on a few amendments. The last amendment we had a roll call vote on prior to the lunch break was to decouple the perpetual gas tax, and it went down, I think, on straight party lines. We only had three no votes against that. And what's going to happen today when the dust settles at the end of the day, if you take a look at the roll call votes that happened in the Senate and previously what happened in the House, there are a lot of issues there for people to run on. And I would encourage anyone that's energized from today, we need candidates who are going to speak up for the taxpayer, who are pro-taxpayer, pro-working people. And I know we're all disillusioned about the election results last year. And I will tell you that the good news is, the bad news is, we didn't win some seats we should have won. The good news is, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle up there, I believe, have been lulled into a false sense of security. And what I'm seeing is they feel as though they can vote on any issue now with impunity and that they will never lose their seat. Now, I know the recent special election, when we picked up a seat in the House with Leah Cole, a great friend of the taxpayers, I know she will be, we've proven that theory wrong. So we need to build on that. I thank you all for coming out here. We've got a whole series of amendments that we're debating to try to defeat this thing. My crystal ball is not that cloudy at the moment. It looks like we're going to lose on all of these. But if you go up into the gallery in the Senate and listen to some of the rhetoric and listen to the debate from some of the folks up there, not all of us, but some of them, you'll think you tripped and had Dorothy's red shoes on or something and landed in the Wizard of Oz. It is unbelievable right now, and I've been up here a long time. Hopefully there's no folks here that like term limits, because I've exceeded my term limits by many, many years. But there has never been, in the time I've been in office, a greater disconnect between what goes on out here in the real world and taxpayers who are being nickel and dimed at every
level of state government, whether it's local government, state government, federal government, the Fed with fake printing press money, and what goes on inside that building where they think you've got an endless bottom of money and resources in your back pocket.